Utah's #1 news channel. This is KUTV 2 News at noon.
So overall, we've seen about a 10% increase in housing discrimination.
1 year later, is Utah's anti-discrimination law working? Good afternoon. Welcome to 2 News at noon. The state says nearly every case filed under Utah's anti-discrimination law has been tossed out with no action taken.
But state and LGBT leaders say that doesn't necessarily mean the new law is not working. Jeremy Harris has tracked down data about the cases. And Jeremy, is the state saying why so many discrimination complaints are being thrown out?
Yeah, the Labor Commission here tells me that everyone who has come here to file a complaint over the course of the last year, with one exception, have had their cases dismissed. Now, the state says that either there wasn't evidence of discrimination or the individual did not violate the state statute. And the director of the anti-discrimination unit here tells me the numbers don't tell the whole story. This was just over a year ago as the governor gave his signature of approval to Utah's anti-discrimination and religious liberty law that protected LGBT people from discrimination in housing and employment. The bill was lauded as a victory, but after the cheers faded, the bill came into the hands of the Utah Labor Commission to enforce the law.
So at this point, we've only had a few cases.
Allison Adams-Perlak heads the anti-discrimination unit.
Most of those cases have been closed without cause. We have a few cases that were also closed on based on no jurisdiction.
In response to a public records request asking for anti-discrimination data since SB 296 became law, the state reported 18 complaints were received for employment discrimination. Of those 18 cases, 7 were dismissed without action, 8 were dismissed for lack of jurisdiction, and 3 are currently being processed. 8 complaints came in for housing discrimination, resulting in 7 being dismissed without action and 1 case being resolved.
Looking at the information and the numbers that we have, we've really determined that we need to do more education and outreach to the LGBTQ community to make them aware of this law.
She says many of the complaints simply aren't in violation of the law.
It is our concern that perhaps people just aren't aware of the law or the requirements of the law.
But what we're seeing now...
Troy Williams is one of the biggest advocates for the law and says despite the Labor Commission numbers, LGBT people are more protected now than before.
The law is working. I know of several people who've been able to come out at work, put the photo of their marriage on their desk without the fear of being discriminated against, fired, or actually evicted from their home.
The Labor Commission here telling me that their next step is obviously education and educating people about what is discrimination and what isn't and when they can file a complaint. Now, as part of my public records request, I'd actually asked to see the actual complaints to at least get some sort of a narrative about what the complaints were and which cases were dismissed and which were not. But that part of the records request was denied, citing a state statute that says they don't have to release any information about the complaints themselves. So I have no way of independently verifying the information that the state is giving us, saying that there was no violations of the discrimination statute. We will see if we can get any more information on that. Ron Hawley, back to you.
All right, so does the state have any plans to educate LGBT people about what's considered discrimination and how to report it?
They do. In fact, the leaders of the Labor Commission tell me they have a lot of information and a lot of resources up on their website and on their Facebook page. They say that is the best place to go for anybody that thinks they may be a victim here of discrimination. We're working to get links to those up on our website at KUTV.com. Back to you.
Okay.
Jeremy, thank you.
That's an eye-opener.